Live. Oh, okay.
You didn't do that for you last time?
No, it just said scheduled. It kept saying scheduled. I was like, I don't know if we actually in it.
Yes, we in it. Of course we are. It's it really is. I don't know why, but as soon as I see that red live in the corner and it starts counting, I get nervous. It's very I get
Huh?
nervous. Like, why are you nervous?
I'm fine. We talking. Shit, it's
Do
us.
you?
We fine. I do get nervous.
It is us. I don't know why, but I just be getting so nervous. I be getting like, okay, okay. What up, though? Welcome to Black Light Matters, a podcast where your black light shines abundantly. I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI the Gentleman,
And I am
and
Rah
this
the
is my
Wizard.
homegirl.
Oh shit! I'm
Girl,
sorry, boo. It had a little lag. It had a little lag. So I thought that was my moment. I am Rah the Wizard.
it is your
RAH the
mom.
Wizard. Are you experiencing this
What's
too?
so funny? No.
You not? Huh? It's so interesting. There's such a lag of things. It don't matter. It's hopefully that ain't happening for them too. But yeah, that's I'm
Like there's a
down there.
lag between
Rather with
what and what?
us talking.
What's the lag between? Oh, because I
It's
don't
like
have any delay.
you don't have any delay. Oh well, I guess it's just me.
I mean, I don't know
Anyway.
if it's a delay. You're responding in real time to me.
Oh. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
Like
It's weird.
I'm hearing you in real time. Okay. So
Okay.
how have you been?
I've been really well. I've been well, okay. I've had extreme highs and I've had extreme lows. With us being in Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, those October 31st and November 2nd. It's a Latino celebration of the dead, those who have passed, our ancestors. And I was on I did a journey, a spiritual journey during that time. And bitch, it was ugly. Like all of these insecurities and darknesses and things that were necessary for me to see. Specifically, like I realized I've been having a hard time receiving, like softening into
Res-
allowing what it
res-
is. Go ahead.
Keep going.
Okay. Hard time softening into what it is that I say that I desire and what I know that I deserve. Right. So it was just that was a little challenging. And also just like my body, my spirit's like, you've been neglecting your body. I haven't been working out. I haven't been like doing my practices. So all of that stuff came up and it was a lot for me. But then on the other hand, I had this amazing speaking engagement at the University of Illinois. So, how
Which
are
is
you,
your
baby?
alma mater? That's a big fucking deal.
It is.
That is that. What did you study?
So I studied dance performance and choreography, and then all the regular stuff too.
Okay.
And I also had a semester in Taiwan at the Taipei Isudashue, which is the Taipei National University of the Arts, where I also studied acrobatics, classical Chinese dance, kung fu, dance meditation, and I also got to perform, which was awesome, and lived there for 6 months.
It's so interesting that you're talking about all these amazing cultural experiences you had. Meanwhile, I was half naked at a deviant party, so that's what I did. I wish I could be like I was in Taiwan or at a speaking engagement. I was wearing a harness and very little else at the deviant party. So
You got
that
pictures?
is the juxtaposition of us. I do have two pictures. I have two. That's it. Of
Okay.
what I was wearing. I shaved my body for that event, and
Mm.
it paid off.
Hello.
It paid off. So, for those of you who are just joining us, again, I am Jay the Gentleman, and this is,
Rah the Wizard.
and this is Black Light Matters, the show where the podcast where your black queer light shines abundantly. Today we are talking about a unique topic. We really wanted to do a show where y'all got to know us because this is a very new, very fresh endeavor for Rye and I. But instead of just doing like a getting to know you in a random Q&A, we wanted to talk about something that was kind of salient for us. I definitely for me is my coming out story. And I'll tell you, Rob, one thing that kind of resonated with me when we started having conversations was you said that you wanted to do a podcast that your mother could watch and get a better understanding of you. And I think
Yes.
that really was the jumping off point for this particular episode about 3 facts about coming out every ally needs to know. I would say my mom is an ally. Would you say your mother's an ally?
Absolutely. My mama is a warrior, honey.
Really? I wouldn't go that far. My mama ain't a warrior. My very African, very Kenyan father is a warrior. But I wouldn't
Mm.
say my mama's a warrior. She's definitely an ally.
Okay.
And so what do you
Question.
wish what do you wish Oh, go ahead. What you got?
I got a question for you. I was gonna say, well, what do you feel qualifies your father as a warrior versus your mother as an ally?
My dad has walked in gay pride parades. My dad has been a member of P Flag. My dad has been to every award show that I've been honored
Mm.
at. And that was a couple reasons behind it. First is, I lived in Texas with him for a long time, and my mother lived in a different city, so she just was not geographically proximal. But also, when I came out to him, it was like breathing. My dad was the easiest
Mm.
person to come out to, and that kind of became the jumping off point for a whole new season in our relationship, to where like if some gay shit going down, that man is going to fucking Maasai warrior. Even though we are not Maasai, we're Luya, but he is going full Maasai warrior on anybody who tries to discriminate against me. So that's not to say my mother wouldn't. It's just my dad has.
Mm. Wow, that is beautiful. We do not. That's also something that I find to be rare because it's not often. I've not heard. This is the first time that I've heard another black gay man say, "My father is a warrior for me." That's so rare.
Oh
So
yeah.
like, big ups to your
Yeah.
pops.
Well, thank you. Dr. Makoha is he is proud. He always calls me and asks me when I'm getting married. And at first, for a long time, I thought he just was assuming I would turn straight. But he wants me to get married to a man so we can have a big fabulous gay wedding and have some kids because he wants some more grandkids. So there's that. My dad. That's my dad. Why would you say your mother is a warrior?
My mother. Well, first of all, my mama is naturally a warrior. She like she hood shit. So she's showing up with bats and hammers if she need to. Like my mother is a person that's like, if you fuck with my kids, I will kill you. And she's been
Okay.
like that
Okay.
forever. Like truly a warrior. You know, she's definitely learned to tailor that and understanding that her sacred anger has a place in time, and we honor that. She's
Mhm.
also just
Mhm.
really like present in my life and a supporter of me, a lover of me, also showing up to all the things, making sure that I got and has sacrificed so much to make sure that I've had the opportunities to live this grand, luxurious life that I have. Her and my grandma,
Yeah.
both of them warrior women.
I think that's beautiful, and I agree that I have not heard too many gay men talk about the connection with their father. But every time I hear about a black mama, because my mama is dope. Let me be clear, my mama is dope. It's just her and my dad are still in two different places when it comes to how they have embraced me. But I love seeing great relationships with black gay people and their parents,
Yes.
because I do also, the flip side is I hear so many stories about how people are estranged from their parents and their grandparents because of one reason or another. So hearing about the previous generation that is active in our lives is a big deal. What's one thing that you wish your
Okay.
mother knew about you, about your queer life, that you don't think she fully grasps yet?
That's a great question. I wish my mom. Well, I think she does know. I wish my mom could see the way that people, um, like celebrate me in my feminist. Growing up, she was really
Mm-hmm.
afraid and scared about, me being, a gay black man. And where she like, look, I mean, when I first came out, she was like, you are a black male in the United States. That is a major strike against you. And you gay? There's two strikes against you. You know what I'm saying? Just out the door. And you're effeminate. That's another thing. Just all of these like XXX against you. And my mother is a warrior and she's also a worrier, and so she has that a tendency
Yeah.
to worry, like I'm her firstborn. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. You my baby. Shit. I'm older, but I'm still my mama baby. I'm always gonna be my mama baby. So I wish that she could I really want her to experience specifically me in another country, right? Because we've never had that experience together before, and just to see the way that life celebrates me and celebrates us, like this energy of my feminist, of my queerness, and my loudness, you know. So I wish she could. I wish she could really grasp that.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
think does she celebrate you to the degree that you think that other countries do?
Um, yes, but differently, right? There's a different what's the word? Like socially, the way that we are socialized in America is different. Like when I'm in Mexico, you know what I'm saying? Like it is when I first get off the plane, honey, and I got my lips on, I got my heels on and my dress. I'm getting catcalled, like, oh, senora, senora. That don't happen here. That don't happen here. So the just the like the acceptance, the joy, the like flirtation, the play. It's just a different kind of life. And my mom is also kind of like she's also big and bold, and she's also pretty reserved. Especially when it comes to like sexual things or sexuality. Like that's just like, oh, I don't want to see you kissing. I don't, she just that's just in her. That's how she is.
Yeah.
So there is a my mother celebrates me loud and proud and in the best way that she is um in her way. You know what I'm saying? In her way.
Hmm.
Yeah. Do
It's
you feel
interesting that you
that?
talk about other countries because, well, it's interesting that you talk about other countries because my father, so Kenya, where my family is from, my dad is from, just elected a new president who is very progressive comparatively, but being gay is still a crime in Kenya.
Mm,
And as much as I have been to another country with my father, not to Kenya, but to another country, and it's very interesting because my dad accepts me way more than I think he thinks
mm,
Kenyan culture would accept me if we went there together. And so it's so interesting to just hear this comparison of the the other in another country as opposed to the experience that I think my dad is afraid of creating with me in another country
mm.
because he know I ain't gonna take no shit.
Hello.
So he don't want my no shit taking ishness to land me in jail for an unforeseen amount of time because I'm one of the gays.
Right. Question. So
Hmm.
In what way has your father shown up for you, or your either one of your parents? No, actually, I'm curious about your mom because she doesn't have um the same kind of, not that she's not involved, but again, allyship. Talking about your mother's allyship. In what ways has she shown up for you that really has made you feel like, I am so grateful for my mother, especially specifically in your queerness, your gayness?
Um, I don't know that. I don't. My relationship with my parents are very different. Like my dad, I think my dad is a very micro lover of me. Like he loves all the pieces of me and how they make into a whole. Like if I were a cake, he would love the flour, he would love the sugar, he would love the icing, he would love the eggs, he would love all these different pieces. Whereas my mother, she expresses love as a whole thing. She loves the cake.
Mm,
And so
mm-hmm,
I don't know that I don't know that I have an experience where my mother has parsed out the gay part and said, I love this for XY reason. However, I do acknowledge that she knows that being gay is a part of my cake and she loves the cake. So
mm,
it's just a different experience. I don't ever think that my mother is ashamed. I don't think that she's ashamed of me being gay. I know that she loves me. I know that she affirms who I am. I know that she does not wish me to be different. Um but it's just a different kind of relationship. She loves the whole cake. Whereas my dad, I can point to specific experiences where he loves all the ingredients
I sure.
for different reason.
Mm-hmm. I received that, boo. I got you.
Like, do you have siblings?
I'm the eldest of 13.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that like? Did you grow up with all 13 of these, all 12 of these siblings?
No. So, like, at different points in our lives, right? So, like, my mother had 7 children, my father had 6. Um, and so I was I was closer to my mother's siblings, but I also lived with like my paternal grandmother and my father's children, you know? So I really had
Hmm.
the mix of both worlds. But all of my mother's children's names start with A. So I'm Aaron. Again, y'all don't never repeat that, bitches. Okay.
I mean, you
Raheem, I
are
go by
doing it on the
Raheem.
internet, but okay.
I did.
So, good luck, but okay.
Okay, right. But Raheem is my middle name. So it's Aaron, Arville, Alani, Alexis, Ashanti, Armani, and Andre on my mother's side. And so when I was 18, we all lived in a 1 bedroom apartment. Me, my mom, my stepdad, and all my siblings. And baby, when I tell you no privacy, but also one of the best times of my life. It was the first time that all of my siblings lived together. And we
Hmm.
played, we laughed, we watched TV together. I mean, we did games. It was so like, it was so lovely, you know, it was so lovely. And when we get
That's
together
beautiful.
now, you know, being much older, me 33 and my youngest brother is what, 18, just turned 18. So it's like, and the range between, and we got, you know, 2 of my siblings have kids now. And so it's like, wow, it's so, we are the becoming the next generation, you know? And it's
Well,
lovely.
the reason I ask is because, like, is your experience different with affirmation and your queer expression with your siblings as opposed to your mother? Like, are you embraced similarly?
Absolutely. My siblings love me. I'm Mama Raheem. You know, I'm the secondary primary parent. You know what I'm saying? I raised most
Hmm.
of them. So they know me in a complete. They know me as mother, right? Where I would have, my three younger siblings, one on this hip, one on the other hip, and one in my hand, and we all walking together. Like I was raising them when I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And it was a big thing in my family. Like how do you know how all what these kids need? Like you like, oh, that sound means this. This means that. Like, and I just knew, what I'm saying? Because I honor that I am mother, right? And it got to express itself with my siblings. They love me, and I love my babies.
When did that? So is that when the your kind of feminine energy started to really show itself in how you interact with your younger siblings?
It was always there. I was always effeminate. Like ever since I was a kid, I always talk with my hands. I've always been expressed. This body, honey, it's always been this. It's always given this. And as I've gotten more
Really?
comfortable over the yeah. So I would be, when I lived with my uncle, he was in jail for a number of years. I'd be talking with my hands. He'd hit my hand, don't talk with your hands and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It was really fucking traumatic. That was such a traumatic time in my life. But I've always been this lover, this feeler. I cried about every goddamn thing. Everything I cried. I was such a raw sore. And I got picked on and teased for that. So it wasn't until I got
And
older
now
that
look
I
at you.
okay, good period.
And now look at you. I would do the same thing, only I'm not that flexible. Not nearly that flexible.
Do you
I
have
could get it
siblings?
up to like right here. Like this is yes, I'm the middle of three.
In the middle of three.
Um and so the funny thing is, and my sister, she probably gave me the best compliment I've ever received in my life. So when I was my sister was much like you in the sense that she was raising us when she was 10 years old.
Mm.
She is 4 years older than me. I am 6 years older than my brother. And so when she was 10, she had these two little kids, this 6-year-old little boy and a newborn that she was figuring it out with, right? And she was very motherly as we were growing up. But then she graduated high school and went to college when I was 14. And we never lived in the same place again until I was in my 30s. And similar with my brother, when I graduated high school, he and I never lived in the same place until I was in my 30s again, until I was in my late 20s. So it was these large chunks of our life, our formative years, that we all spent in different places. My brother became an adult somewhere else without me. My sister became an adult somewhere else without family. And then we all came back together here in Atlanta. So my sister lives up the street, my brother lives down the way, my mom lives, 15 minutes away, and now we're all together. And my sister, once she kind of was introduced to like this version of me, to the 30-year-old adult version of me, she said to me, "You live." Now of course, she has gay friends, but she said different than any of her gay friends. She called me a one life gay. Like
Hmm.
everywhere I go, I'm the same dude. I have one life. Whereas a lot of her friends are like they have how they are with their gay friends and how they are with their straight friends and how they are with their family and how they are on the job. And she just noticed that I was the same everywhere I went. And I took that as such a high compliment that
Mm-hmm.
to come from a place where I lived several different lives. Who I was in the barbershop was different than who I was at church because I used to play the organ, was different than who I was
Mm.
at home, which is different than who I lived such disparate lives, but to be in this space where my sister can like see that I'm a one life gay, that was probably the most notable experience I have with her in my
Mm.
adult life. Well, the first notable experience I've had with her in my adult life. She said, "You're a one life gay," and I was like, "Oh, thanks." One thing I wish she realized, or I think she has an idea. I think everybody has an idea, but one thing I wish I could impart to them is how much work it took to become that kind of person.
Ashay.
Like, like there's a lot of unlearning I had to do in order to become who I am, who I believe I am to be in this world. And one thing that I appreciate is now that I've learned is my family did the best they could. None of them
Mm,
had a rule book, instruction manual on raising a gay kid that looked and walked and talked like me. And so, one thing, if there was one thing that I wish all of them knew, is that I know you did the best you could and you didn't do anything wrong.
mm. I echo that.
Yeah.
I echo that. I got another question for you. So what was something that you had to unlearn, that you had to clear, and then reintegrate, like, the say, if you are made of pieces, right? We all are made of pieces. You are a puzzle. What puzzle piece did you have to remove, and what did you fill it in with that made you more complete?
Um, like a lot of gay people, I had messages from a young age that I was broken, that something about me was in disrepair, and I needed to fix it so that I could be right. Um, for me, interestingly enough, I was super fishy when I was little.
Mm,
Super fishy. I had a high pitched voice. I ran funny. I was very awkward, very feminine. I wouldn't go as far as saying flamboyant because I didn't have enough self concept to be flamboyant. I just
mhm,
was weird. And because I was this extreme version of gay when I was little, my parents thought I was broken, and I
mm,
received these constant messages of how I'm not good enough, and um, and I had to unlearn that I'm not good enough, which turned into fuck these niggas for a while.
hello.
Not my family, but in just a
Mm,
general demeanor around fuck these niggas. I don't need this shit. And then what I filled it in with eventually was grace. They are they were as equipped as anybody could have been to welcome me into this world. And I had to let go of the idea that my childhood, my upbringing could have, should have, would have been any different so that I could be who I am today.
mm.
I had to drop all them bags, and I am better because of it. My family is who my family is, and I love every aspect of them unconditionally. I don't fuck with every aspect of them, but I
Hello.
love them.
Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Of
Um,
course.
I just need a breath. Let's just breathe for a minute.
You be breathing so much. Do
I,
I be taking the air out the room?
no, it's not that you take the air out the room. It's just that I want to honor the weight of what you share. You know what I'm saying? We are so caught up in life where we're trying to, like, move on to the next thing, but we have to honor that things have energy, and there is an energy that
Yeah.
is after what you share, and so I'm honoring that space.
Well, I appreciate that. I will say that like a lot of this, the interesting thing about this podcast is a lot. And this is only the second go with the rodeo.
Right.
But most of what I have shared are things that I've never said to anybody.
Mm,
Like I don't talk about my parents that much aside from I love them, Or last time I don't talk about the time I dated a white guy, the white men that I've dated because I just kind of I'm realizing how much of my life I compartmentalize and pack it away in this little package and put it on the shelf and never worry about it again. And um like I realized why Oprah did the Oprah Winfrey show for 25 years and never had to go to
mm,
therapy Cause this is cathartic. This is some shit.
baby. This is healing work, you know,
It is.
and
It is healing work, and I'm realizing all the aspects of my life that are not as healed. I mean, that's a tall order, but to realize the aspects of my life that are not as healed as I thought they were 2 weeks into the thing.
mm. There's also, we have to
Who'd
also
have thunk it?
understand that healing, right? The etymology of the word heal means to return to wholeness, right? And that's a constant process. And we think about, you know, if you are a person who follows like Christianity, like we were all of source, and then Big Bang of what shit. Maybe I'll Big Bang, people don't talk about, Christians don't talk about Big Bang. My bad. I'm mixing signals. Anyway, we were all one.
I believe
Yes.
in the Big Bang.
You
I
know,
know the
and,
Big Bang happened 14 billion years ago. I know that shit.
you know what I'm saying? We were all one, and then we split into infinite things because spirit is infinite, and we're always on this cycle, always in this working, this remembering, returning to member, returning to wholeness, this healing. We're always going back to wholeness, which is to source. Right? So it's an infinite process. You will always be healing. You will always be returning to wholeness. I will always be healing. It's always a process. And we can assist that process, or we can not assist that process. And I would prefer to assist my healing, because everything that I desire is on the other side of my healed self. Because my healed self is integrated. It knows who it is. It is the seed of the divine, and it is my individuality. So,
Do you how do you know that? How do you
mm, mm-hmm.
know it? Hear the inflection in my tone. How do you know
yeah,
that?
yeah. It's, it's taken me a long time to trust my um intuition, my energy, my inner G, my inner God, goddess. Um, and my first experience, because I grew up atheist. I didn't believe in shit. I'm like, my life sucked. So there's no way that the divine can exist if this is my life. And
Mm.
it wasn't until it was India Ari, and I cannot wait to meet her. And India, girl, listen, I'm gonna tell you this story when I meet you. Okay. I was listening to India Ari in my Walkman. Okay. For y'all who don't know what that is, we used to have CD players. If you don't know what a CD is, Google that too. So I'm listening to A Voyage to India on my CD player, and there was a song in there called God is Real. And every time it would come on, I would go, skip. I don't want to hear this shit. And one day, I woke up at like 1 a.m. and the song was on. And I was like, well, let me just listen and see what this is. And I listened to this song. And she sings, and I saw starfish and sponges, fish shaped like trumpets, so many different colors. I stayed down there for hours, and I only saw a fraction of the deepest of the deep of the great blue wide. Brought a tear to my eye. That's how I know that God is real. I know this is not by chance. And when I fucking tell you I was in the ocean, I'd never been in the ocean. I was there. I could feel the wetness on my skin. I could see the fucking trumpets. I was there. I was there, and I bawled for 3 hours because there was this undeniable sensation and feeling and experience where I knew that God is real. And I was not only crying because I knew that God was real, but that I denied its existence for so long. And then I just continued to research and study. And I'm an avid researcher and studier of all kinds of things. So like I can learn from Christianity. I can learn from the Torah. I can learn from the Zohar. I can learn from anything. All of them are pieces of the puzzle, right? Because spirit is infinite. So why would spirit not have as many perspectives as there are people? If we're all made in her image, then we would all have a piece of that. Right. And so I just honor that. I honor the divine in you. I honor the divine in me. Even those who we think that are like real fucked up out here, like they too have a role. They too, even bad shit is divine. We don't like to talk about that because we think that divine is only love and light. But divinity is everything. If God is everything, then it's that fucked up shit too. So, yeah.
But you know, the funny thing is, the one thing that I think of is when you said last week about how you want depth in your sexual exploits, your non-existent sexual exploits, and I'd be like, and
Hello.
I told you in the after show that there's power in leaves, in the
Mm-hmm.
analogy about the
Yeah.
tree, and I was
Yeah.
like, God is there too. God
Right.
is when you. God is there too. He is
Right.
he, she, it is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere.
You right,
Again,
twin.
I'm not advocating for reckless sex because God's in it, but I am saying that God is in the frivolous, the deep and foundational. God is in everything. God, the universe is in everything.
For
And
sure.
if we deny the frivolity, we are denying
Mm-hmm.
ourselves a piece of the divine.
Bitch, don't be speaking to my life like that.
I can be deep every once in a while. I can be deep. I ain't always talking about parties and harnesses and jock straps. I can be deep. I can. I really can. Well,
That's why we have such
I
great
think
conversations.
that's a great place to wrap it up. I think that's a great place to wrap it up. Are you okay with that?
I feel
Or
complete.
you
I
got
feel
something else you
complete.
want to talk about?
No, this
I
is a
feel complete
wonderful.
in
You're
that as
great.
well. I feel complete in that as well. For those watching and who are to watch, Black Light Matters is live on YouTube every Thursday at 8:30, starting November 3rd. Today, subscribe to Dear Black Gay Men so you never miss an episode.
And you can also find us
Um,
for the after talk at on my Instagram live at Rah The Wizard, RAHTHEWIZARD. Ooh! And we going over there right now where we talk to you and have more of a discussion about what it is that's going on in your world. You know what I'm saying? This is a co-creation, boo. This is a co-creation. We are here. We are queer. Get used to it. Huh.
get used to it. That was our show. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace.